Good Wednesday evening, Happy New Year, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And today, not a bad day. Actually, when we get to that a little bit later on, temperature-wise, we were exactly pretty much where we should be for this time of year. We did see some sunshine out there, and look at this beautiful shot late this afternoon, looking down at the beautiful town of Kashmir and the sun beginning to set at that time, and a great shot there. But we do have some storminess moving our way. In fact, a winter weather advisory is now posted for 4 a.m. overnight into 2 p.m. tomorrow. We will see our first round of rain and snow beginning tonight. There will be about a 30 to 40% chance. The bad news for us, freezing rain is very possible. We could see anywhere from 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of ice on the roadways by Thursday morning, because as we go to our Thursday slide, you can see we are right in the bullseye for that freezing rain, snow to our north, and some rain showers to our west and to our east. But right here in north central Washington, freezing rain, a definite possibility, so be very careful as you make that morning commute tomorrow. And we'll have more weather information coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Cascade Medical will ask voters to renew a levy next month that has supported ambulance service and emergency medical care in the Upper Valley for 30 years. The first day of work in the new year was also the last day of work for some Douglas County elected officials. And a horse wandering on Grant Road just outside East Wenatchee this morning was struck and killed by a truck. But first, we begin tonight. Investigators have determined that a house fire on South Mission Street early New Year's Eve was human-caused. Chelan Fire District 1 Chief Brian Brett told NCWLIFE News the fire originated in two places, one inside and one outside the house.
On the early morning of December 31st, just after 3 a.m., fire crews were called to a structure fire in the 900 block of South Mission. Crews arrived to find a 1.5-story house with fire venting out a window on the south side. As crews advanced for extinguishment, they found the home to be secured extremely well. It was being used for storage by the homeowner. The crews forced entry through the doors and advanced hose lines through a lot of storage and simultaneously did a primary search of the structure. We always assume that structures are occupied and aggressively search for occupants. The fire was confined and extinguished, and subsequently the investigation showed there was 2 points where a fire had been started, one on the outside and one in the inside here. There was no power to the structure. The fire has been determined to be human-caused, and we are currently looking into the circumstances relating to the cause of this fire.
Cascade Medical will ask voters to renew a levy next month that has supported ambulance service and emergency medical care in the Upper Valley for 30 years. Ballots for the February 12th election will be mailed on January 24th. The measure is a 6-year renewal at 50 cents per $1,000 of assessed valuation. That's the same as the levy that passed with 82% approval in 2012. If approved, the levy would continue to cost property owners about $125 a year for a home assessed at $250,000. The measure needs a simple majority to pass. The EMS levy provides about 26% of the emergency medical services budget, which is critical to maintaining ambulance service and keeping the emergency department open. The levy rate has remained the same at 50 cents per $1,000 for more than 15 years. Cascade Medical Ambulance responded to more than 1,000 calls in 2017. Well, the first day of work in the new year was also the last day of work for some Douglas County elected officials. A swearing-in ceremony was held at the Waterville Courthouse with Judge John Hotchkiss presiding. Officials sworn into office were Auditor Thad Duvall, Commissioner Mark Straub, Sheriff Kevin Morris, County Clerk Kristen Worthen, Treasurer Natalie Marks, District Court Judge Eric Bigger, PUD Commissioner Ron Skagen, and County Assessor Jim Rude. Among the newly elected officials taking his oath of office is Prosecutor Gordon Edgar with outgoing Prosecutor Steve Clem. Clem is leaving after serving 6 terms in office.
It was a long 6 terms of being prosecutor, and we did a lot of great things in Douglas County, and Gordy was by my side for a little over 23 years of that.
So what are we getting in a new prosecutor, Steve?
You're going to get somebody that really knows his way around the courtroom, who has a sense of justice and also has a sense of compassion and understands that we all have our human foibles, and that there are times that we need to be held accountable, and there are times that we need to receive a little bit of mercy.
Fantastic.
Amen to that.
Pretty sage advice.
Yes, it is.
That's right. That's right. So, any advice that you can pass along to Gordy as he starts his new job?
That's a good one. I could say just keep everything going the way it is, but I don't know that I would say that to Gordy, because I think he'll find ways that he can improve the system, just as I found ways to improve the system and to operate more efficiently and actually be a better minister of justice.
Do you see any changes forthcoming?
We are increasing the size of our office by another attorney and another staff member, and so we'll increase our capacity, if you will. The county's grown substantially in the last 24 years, and our office has somewhat remained the same size, and so we're growing to grow along with the county.
A horse wandering on Grant Road just outside East Wenatchee this morning was struck and killed by a truck. The truck was heavily damaged in the collision, which took place on Grant near Perry Avenue North. Steve Grossclose of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office said the driver of the truck was not injured.
At about 7 o'clock this morning, a Van Dorn sales truck was westbound on Grant Road and struck a horse in the westbound outside lane of travel. And the horse was killed as a result of the accident, and the truck was totaled, is what I'm told, and removed from the scene by a tow truck. And then our road department, TLS, helped remove the horse and take it to the owner's property. It sounds to me like the horse got out of its corral or left the owner's property and just wandered into the lane of travel in Grant Road.
Coming up next, the Wenatchee School Board of Directors invites those interested in participating in the final phase of the superintendent search to apply to serve on a stakeholder interview committee. Wolf attacks on cattle last year nearly doubled the number killed in any previous year. And a driver near Peshastin will show you what it's like to drive on black ice. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you.
Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Dear Mary Maids, please clean the kitchen, and the cabinets, and floors, and the chairs. And I wish you could clean the dog. Colin is now feeding himself. Thanks, Megan.
Hi, Megan. No worries. We got it all cleaned up. Let's hope Colin gets past the spaghetti flinging stage soon. Till then, we've got you covered. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back. In another news, the Wenatchee School Board of Directors invites those interested in participating in the final phase of the superintendent search to apply to serve on a stakeholder interview committee. The committee will interview final candidates for the superintendent position on February 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The stakeholder interview committee will include a mix of up to 20 students, staff, parents, and community members. Individuals interested in serving on the committee must submit an application by noon on January 22nd. Applicant names will be drawn by lottery during the January 22nd school board meeting to fill 10 seats on that committee. The remaining 10 seats will be filled by district teachers, administrators, and staff appointed by their bargaining groups. Applicants must be able to attend the final interviews in order to be considered. All interviews will be held at the Wenatchee School District Central Office at 235 Sunset Avenue at 10 a.m. Wolf attacks on cattle last year nearly doubled the number killed in any previous year, according to reports by the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. NCWLIFE's Steve Hare has more on that story.
The Capitol Press reports that at least 31 cattle were killed or injured in 2018, compared to the previous high of 15 attacks reported in 2016. Most of the reports originated out of Stevens and Ferry counties. In Okanagan County, where wolves are still a federally protected species, a calf was confirmed killed in November. Scott Nielsen, with the group Cattle Producers of Washington, told the Capitol Press that he attributed the increase to better agency documentation of attacks. He said it reflects a slow, steady increase and not necessarily a big jump in the number of attacks. Nielsen credited new Fish and Wildlife Director Kelly Susswind with wanting to get more accurate accounting of livestock losses. He said he's hoping the department will be motivated to collar more wolves to better track their movement. Steve Hare, NCWLIFE News.
Thank you, Steve. Trooper John Bryant of the Washington State Patrol posted this video on Twitter. It's showing a driver last Sunday on icy Highway 2 near Peshastin. The driver, is shown in dash cam video from the patrol car of Trooper Jeremy Weber, was fortunate to escape without damage to his vehicle or injury. Bryant warned that, quote, driving conditions may not always be what they seem, unquote. By the way, the National Weather Service, as I mentioned at the top of the newscast, is calling for freezing rain later tonight and tomorrow morning, which could make for a very slippery road conditions for your Thursday morning commute. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's feature story, comprised of a select number of elementary and middle school students, the Eastmont Bonga Marimba Band is led by music teacher Vinnie Lee, who started the band after finding inspiration at a school conference and then gaining support from a locally funded grant.
Our instruments are fashioned after an African-style marimba, and the music that we play is inspired by the Shona culture from Zimbabwe. And so I looked up Shona words, and I found 3 different words, and one of them was bonga, and bonga means wildcat. And we're from all the elementary schools in Eastmont School District. Learn everything by rote, so they have to learn it through ear. We can play very difficult rhythms, and we can put very difficult rhythms together between different instruments because we're not reading. And I can say a rhythm, I can sing a rhythm or clap a rhythm, and they all go, oh yeah, I get it. And they will do that rhythm. We can learn much faster because there's like 17 kids in the group, and I can teach, there's 5 different sections, and I can teach 1 kid out of each of the 5 sections, and now they're teaching the other 2 or 3 kids within their section, so we learn much quicker. And it develops leadership. And they love it. These are all, I have a class full of leaders really in here.
I just love the teamwork and just the friendship in this room that keeps the music going, and yeah.
I think it brings confidence because we are going out into the public all the time, and 2 years ago we had 21 gigs, so in one school year. And they get so comfortable, and I don't let them play a tune until they know it well, so that way when we do go into public, they're successful.
I had heard it in 2nd grade at the talent show, and I just thought it was really, really cool. And when I got my letter, and I was just like, oh yeah. I don't know, it's just like, I feel the music pulsing beneath my feet, and it's just like, what makes me want to jump in and stuff and dance.
I am so thankful. I am so thankful to Eastmont School District. It's a way that I can end my day on such a good note every day. It's so uplifting, and the music is just really uplifting. But I think that it's just working with the kids and knowing, I know I'm bringing up this next generation of kids, and they're becoming leaders in their music groups up at school. A lot of these kids are in a band program, and they're going on into percussion.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And right off the top, I want to get it out there. Freezing rain is a possibility overnight and into tomorrow morning. That has prompted the National Weather Service to post a weather advisory for us here in North Central Washington. It will start at 4 a.m. overnight and run until 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So that morning commute tomorrow morning, we could see about 1/10 of an inch of ice on those roadways. Before we get to the weather details, let's take a beautiful look outside our weather window and our friends up in Cashmere. We had a beautiful sunset this afternoon, and this is what it looked like right before that time. A little bit of snow still on the mountains, but boy, not very much, is there? A lot of rain lately, and that has really taken our snow levels down. But temperature-wise today, we were right pretty much where we should be for this time of year. High temperature this afternoon. Didn't warm up much, did it? 31 degrees. We started at 24 this morning. 32 our normal high. 23 our normal low temperature. 48 is our record high in 2007. -2 our record low in 1969. Remember, we're starting a new year precipitation-wise, so no new precip and no precipitation to date yet. Sunrise this morning was at 7:48 and the sun set this afternoon at 4:22. Putting that surface loop in motion, we are seeing tonight partly cloudy skies, or we will see rather partly cloudy skies, warm and windy conditions. This will be Friday at 3 p.m. Now we're jumping to Saturday at 3 p.m. Mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of showers. I do want to say, though, a 60% chance of showers Wednesday night and into Thursday. Saturday we'll see just a slight chance for some rain, and then another storm system moves in on Sunday. This is at 11 o'clock, a 60% chance for rain. You can see the entire state of Washington inundated with moisture around this area of low pressure in southern British Columbia. Moving on to Monday now, start of our next work week, 9 a.m. Yeah, a good chance for rain mixed with snow. In fact, an 80% chance. Winds could pick up too. You notice our isobars very tightly packed together, and that usually indicates a windy area, and we could see that on Monday. Looking into Tuesday, could be a wet one as well, with temperatures though above normal. Let's take a look at your quick lube and tune forecast, and tonight we will drop down to a low temperature of 29 degrees. That's above where we should be for this time of year. Tomorrow, a 60% chance for freezing rain. That will mainly be in the morning, and then that will switch over to just rain showers for Thursday afternoon. But keep in mind, it could be a very slippery commute tomorrow morning. A little bit of shower activity in the morning on Friday, and then mostly sunny skies by afternoon. Could be breezy too at times on Friday, between 10 and 20 miles an hour, but awfully warm at 43 degrees. A nice day for Saturday, mostly cloudy and mild at 38. We'll stay at 38 degrees for Sunday, but then the next round of storminess moves in. A 40% chance for rain on Sunday. Sunday, a rain-snow mix for Monday, 60% chance then, and 39. We'll top off at 41 by the time we get into next Tuesday, with once again a 50% chance for rain mixed with snow. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Grantrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hey everyone, so today I'm tackling Medical Assistant Ninja, trying to get that next level career. Man, this dead-end job is holding me back. Decision time, I'm going Charter College. Now I'm a medical assistant student. Rocking it? Yeah, earned the President's Award. Score! Took my career to the next level. Hey, I can level up to Medical Assistant Ninja, so can you. Get on it.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
Well, a happy Wednesday, and we're here at Eastmont Lanes here this afternoon for Wenatchee and Eastmont ×2. And Big 9 Bowling will have the highlights and results tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes were able to outlast the Washington Huskies in the 105th Rose Bowl yesterday in Pasadena. 28-23 the final, although the final score not really indicative of the game itself, as the Huskies scored 20 fourth quarter points. Their comeback bid fell short on an onside kick attempt with 42 seconds left. The 20 points in the fourth quarter, according to Coach Chris Peterson, little, too late.
Very frustrating when you start the first half like we started. I have no idea why. That's on me. It's not these kids. They practiced hard. They're ready to play, but we really didn't play with that edge and that chip that we normally play with. Really just, across the whole squad. I don't know, being off that much time, it just didn't seem the same. Proud of them. A few adjustments at halftime, but really more than anything, just an attitude adjustment, make a few plays, and that breeds excitement when you make a few plays and kind of feed off each other.
Myles Gaskin finished the final game of his Washington career with 24 carries, 121 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. Jake Browning struggled through the first few quarters. In fact, the fourth quarter was his highlight, finishing 35 of 54 for 313 yards. He did not throw an interception or a touchdown in the game. Browning says he felt they'd eventually come back. It just was a little too late.
On the sideline the whole time, we were saying just keep swinging and, keep getting after it. We're just a couple plays away from getting that first score. And at halftime kind of said just take it one drive at a time. And I think coming out in the second half, Myles definitely sparked it, and then fourth quarter we were able to move the ball up and down the field, pretty well, but it was just, too little, too late. But, we're always going to keep swinging, or we did always keep swinging, and I think that's kind of, how we are as a team. We're just, we're never out of it. Just keep battling.
Huskies finished the season 10-4, Ohio State at 13-1. Well, the next college game in focus is the FCS 1AA Championship. It's coming up Saturday. Eastern Washington taking on North Dakota State. The game will kick off at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. The 12-2 Eagles take on the 14-0 Bisons. A game from Frisco, Texas can be seen on ESPN2. And the final college bowl game of the year coming up on Monday is the national championship, pitting number 1 Alabama and number 2 Clemson. That'll be at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Kickoff at 5 o'clock on ESPN. The NCW sports calendar beginning tomorrow, as we'll have wrestling here on the NCWLIFE channel, as the Wenatchee High Schools will take on the West Valley Rams. Be sure and join us for that at 7 o'clock. And then coming up on Friday, it's the Litter Box game, the annual matchup between Eastmont and Wenatchee. We're going to start things off at 5 o'clock with the Unified game. That'll be followed by the girls game at 6 and the boys at 7:30. That's all coming to you live from the Town Toyota Center. I'll be courtside along with Grant Olson for that one. And then more basketball coming up on Saturday. We'll air the Wenatchee Eastmont bowling match. It's happening today, Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And then we'll have some more live basketball coming up Saturday as well, starting at 5:30 in the afternoon. The Wenatchee Wild are off for the holiday break. They'll get back in action on the road on Friday and Saturday. Currently second place in the BCHL's interior division behind Penticton. They're tied with Merritt right now for second place. Wenatchee on the road. They'll be at Powell River on Friday for a 7 o'clock game, and then Alberni Valley on Saturday. Wenatchee Valley Super Oval has a new general manager. Jeremy Enders was a guest this morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, saying it was a dream job for him.
I grew up at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval back when it was Wenatchee Valley Raceway back in the early 90s, late 80s. I mean, I was going to that track when I was 6 months old, so I grew up around racing my whole entire life. Just happened to work my way into sports marketing stuff and sports side with Bill Stewart back in the day at the Wenatchee Wild, and I don't think I'd be where I'm at without Bill Stewart. I gotta give him credit because he taught me his wild, creative gene that he had. It was different than a lot of people, and so you know it kind of worked that way. And then I started working for the track a little bit when I was working for the Wild, doing some announcing side, and I've had a chance to travel quite a bit and work in different racetracks and kind of see what other tracks do and kind of understand other tracks. And so it kind of worked my way back here to Wenatchee, and got to thank Garrett Evans and the Evans family for the opportunity to take over the track. And it's been a little bit of a journey so far these first few months of getting things under wraps and getting things going for next season.
Anders says his biggest challenge is educating the public about the fact that we have a raceway in Wenatchee Valley.
This is the 49th year of having raced in the Wenatchee Valley. Next year will be our 50th year. On 2020, and we're working on some big things for that. But 49 years here, there's been racing. There's a long history of racing here in the community. I mean, it goes back a long time, a lot of big names and things that have come up there. And that track is pretty amazing. It's actually one of the nicest facilities to go to as far as racetrack services, the pits, the upstairs, and we're doing some upgrades this year as well to make it even nicer. But that's probably the biggest thing, is just educational-wise, letting people know that there's a track there. Because I talk to people all the time, they're like, there's a racetrack in Wenatchee? And you don't know it. And it's kind of hidden up there for a while. I mean, back before, all those houses are up there, there was an airport, there's a racetrack and a gun club. That's what it was.
Yeah.
There's a racetrack and airport and a gun club, and there's still a racetrack and a gun club up there. The airport hangar's still there, it's just not there. But it's still there and just surrounded by houses now. So yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is just getting people up there and understanding it.
Anders says he's looking forward to promoting the upcoming 11 race schedule.
We have some big things in the works. We're bringing back semi-trucks, big rig racing, the first time we've had them back in quite a few years. I think it's been 5 years for them. Bump to Pass racing is back. We haven't had them for 4 years, so Bump to Pass is always an exciting one for the fans. We have them twice this year. And sponsorship-wise, we've had a lot of great sponsors who have stepped up jumped on board with us this year. We have new sponsors we're talking about, so if you're interested in sponsoring, we're still looking for sponsors for next year, but it's been a really good buzz. That's what I'm excited about. We've had some new cars come in. Season passes are on sale right now as well. We got tossed those at $99 right now until January 15th.
Wow.
I mean, that's like 40% savings. Yeah, and then you get a family pass for $289, which means it's less than $30 per race for the family, and those have been selling faster than we've ever had before. So I'm excited. I feel like I feel things are going pretty well. Of course, there's going to be a hiccup here or there, but for the most part, I'm excited about next season.
They're working on the website. You can find out more at WVSO.com. Here at Eastmont Lanes, I'm Eric Grantrom on the NCW Life channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host, Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
The NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCW Life, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.